Hi, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Echo 12 Light Linear Pendant. This is a beautiful fixture. 131525 is the model number. It's also a circular version of this. Check it out if you get a chance. So, let's get into the size of the fixture body itself. That's going to be 15.4 inches high before we get into our pipes. 13.8 inches wide, 48 inches long. Overall height. Now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself is going to give you a range. 22.2 inches at its shortest and 58.2 inches at its longest. If you need yours to be longer than 58.2, drop me a quick email. Say you're looking at the 131525. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me 108 inches or 125 or 200 inches overall height. I'm going to take your email, send it through Hubbardton Forge's customs department where it's going to come back, and they'll tell us exactly what we can do. This is going to ship with 120 inches of wire to begin with, so I could probably get you close to 115 inches overall height, bottom of fixture to ceiling, just by ordering additional pipes. And I want to show you more about those pipes, and how we're going to do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions, because that always holds good information that we can talk about. So, on the page for this, on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations, instructions, PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you how it goes together, which is pretty simple. It's also going to show you the canopy, which is going to be super important. Canopy's 5.5 inches by 14.5 goes over a standard junction box. So this is coming in at 40, over just a hair over 40 pounds, 40.6, which means that we have to tell you that this has to hang from an overlay attachment independent of just the junction box, and you're going to see more information about that on those install instructions. Talk to your installer about that if you can. It's slope ceiling adaptable in one direction only, so one stem can't be longer than the other stem unless we do a custom version of it for you. That's another thing you want to look at. If you're doing custom, the best thing to do is give me a call and I'll walk you through that. Okay, so Hubbardton is using a system of these interconnected pipes. So you're going to be getting 6 of the 12-inch, you're going to get 2 of the 6-inch, and then there's 2 of the 3-inch, and a bunch of these little connectors. And connectors have threading on the ends. The pipes actually have threading on the inside. They're beautifully milled. And so when you put these together, and we'll talk about kind of like putting it together, the whole thing, you'll notice in the install instructions, you're going to be taking the wires, you're going to be putting them like through a pipe, through a connector, through a pipe, through a connector, independently, and then you're going to just screw them together. So that's the best way to do it. It's super simple, and you do this, and you keep going, and look at that. You can barely even see a seam. It's really, really tight. Hubbardton's precision is quite remarkable on this. And like I said, it comes with 120 inches of wire to begin with. If you just need to order another kit of pipes, drop me a quick email and I can walk you through that stuff. Okay, a couple other things. So this is a big fixture. It ships on a pallet, which goes on a big truck, not just a regular UPS truck, which means that we have to kind of know where it's being delivered to, because those big semis sometimes can't make it up to mountaintops or down to beaches, those kind of things. So good to tell us so we can go over those information of delivery for you. The other thing is it's a non-returnable fixture because of that. So it's really important. You ask a lot of questions and we get a lot of our ducks in a row. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the glass on this. It's a beautiful, well, there's 12 of them. 12 of these beautiful pieces of cast glass. So it's very thick glass. It's sandblasted on the inside, so you're not going to be able to see any of the bulbs. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And now let's talk about what's inside of that. So it's going to be using G9 sockets, and G9 sockets just use G9 bulbs like this. They have little prongs on the bottom. Sometimes they have metal tabs, like let's like that guy. So little tab that's closed, little wires that are open, but they do the same job. You can still do halogens in this if you want. You can do 40-watt halogens in each of the 12 sockets if you desire. Halogens actually provide a beautiful light. They dim gorgeous. It's really crisp light. People still really love them. However, you can do LEDs in this too. And oh, another quick thing about this socket. So you notice when you look at it, it's going to be threaded. That piece of glass is going to sit on top of here. There's going to be a ring kind of stopping the glass and keep going. It's going to sit on top of that socket. And you're going to notice it's going to be coming, your light's going to be coming with this. This is a retaining ring tool. So in each of those 12, there's going to be this retaining ring. It's brass. Again, beautifully done, almost as good as jewelry. I used to work in that industry, and this is pretty well done. Anyway, So this sits in the end of this. This is kind of flared out, has a couple notches in it. Just sits inside like that. Okay, see that? And then basically this is going to take the place of your hand, which is too big to get into the glass to put the retaining ring on. So it goes into the glass, and righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, remember? And then you pull it out, and ta-da, it's on there, it's not on there. Put this in a drawer and just forget about it until you need it, okay? So that's that part of the equation. So getting back to our story about what goes into these sockets, like I said, you can use a halogen if you want, 40 watts max in each. The other thing is you can use LEDs. So we use the same LEDs in all of the G9 fixtures in our showroom. There's all kinds of different ones out there. These are phosphorus ones that have the orange lines and the orange tabs inside. These are cob LEDs, and cob LEDs look like corn cobs. This guy on the bottom, that has a frosted cover on it. This has a clear cover. It doesn't really matter because you actually have a frosted diffuser. That's your glass, so you're not even going to see these. However, going beyond that, always good to know about light output. So this is a 75 watt equivalent. This is a 60 watt equivalent. That's a 40 watt equivalent. And don't forget, you've got 12 of these. You don't have to go up to 75 watt equivalents in each of these. I mean, that would be like crazy amount of light. I would probably do 40 watt equivalents. They're going to be probably the easiest ones to get. And where we get ours is on Amazon, quite honestly. You can go to other online stores that sell bulbs like Just Bulbs and 1001bulbs.com. You could go to your local retailer like an Ace Hardware or True Value Hardware. They will probably have some of these, but quite honestly, Amazon was the best one to find. You just put into the search G9 LED light bulb, boom, up comes a big page, shows you everything you need. It's going to talk about a couple things. It's going to talk about the color of the light. We mention that all the time in all these videos. So they're going to offer these in 2700 Kelvin. That's going to be like that setting sun. It's actually going to be kind of like a halogen light dimmed down. That's very orange yellow. Way on the other side of that, they're going to be offering those bulbs in something called daylight. And daylight sounds warm. It's not sunlight. It's daylight. And daylight is a bluish white light, like a hospital waiting room or an overcast day. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom is called warm white. That's 3,000 Kelvin. That's the light that's coming down on my hands right now. So nice warm glow, just like an incandescent bulb I grew up with. It's also a dimmable fixture, so don't worry about like having too little light because you can dim it. Doesn't matter if you do halogen, you just use a regular dimmer. If you're going to be doing LED, make sure you tell your installer that, well, a couple things. Make sure the bulb says dimmable. Sometimes they'll even say non-dimmable, but make sure it says dimmable if you guys are looking to dim this down. And the other thing is talk to your installer, tell them you're doing a dimmable LED. They'll need to put the correct dimmer on the wall for you. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.